Hello everyone. In today's video we're going to talk about accounting and bookkeeping for wholesale and distribution industry. This will be the few topics that we're going to cover in today's video. So let's start with the inventory management. In inventory management, you will need to track all the inventories that you are having, and you have to record all the physical inventory counts with the inventory levels that you have recorded. And also you will need to check if there is any error or not. Second is accounts receivable and payable. In this you have to keep a close eye on the receivable accounts that you are having, and you have to make sure that all the accounts that were outstanding are received by you timely. And also you will need to record the payables to manage your cash flow. You have to record that how much amount that you have to pay to someone else in your business. And nextly is revenue recognition. In revenue recognition, you will need to record and track all the sources of the revenue stream that you are having, especially if there is any long-term contract or if there is any complex pricing agreements that you are having. You need to recognize all those streams, and you will also need to follow the generally accepted accounting principles or the relevant account standards that are in the market. Next is cost of goods sold. You will need to calculate the COGS for each product or each product category that you have been selling. This will need to track the cost of your raw material, your labor, your overhead cost, or directly associated cost with the production that you are doing. Next is expense and overhead cost. In this you will need to record and categorize all the expenses as per their categories. Okay, that can be your rents, your utilities, your salaries to the employees, or any overhead cost if you are having. You need to record them all, and you need to keep track of all the expenses on overhead costs. So it will help you to analyze the profit, and it is very essential to analyze your profit. Next is cash flow management. In cash flow management, you will need to monitor the cash flow that you are having very closely, the inflows of the cash and the outflows that been having in your businesses. Okay, and you have to make sure that there is enough liquidity to cover if there happens to any overhead cost. Next is credit management. In credit management, you have to evaluate and manage the credit worthiness of the customers. Okay, you need to implement some credit policies and review your credit limits to minimize the depth on your business. Next is tax compliance. In tax compliance, you will need to stay up to date with the tax regulations and tax obligations, and you need to make sure that all the taxes are meeting the appropriate requirements, like your sales tax, income tax, payroll tax, and any other taxes that you are having. Next, we'll talk about profit margins. In profit margins, you will need to analyze the gross profit and the net profit margin to understand the profitability of your product, or your to understand the customer segment that you are having. This can help you to make your pricing strategies more effective, and it will also help you to cost manage decisions. Next, we'll talk about some of the indicators that are very essential to see the growth of the company, or to see the track success of the particular company. So let's start with the indicators. The first indicator will be turnover inventory. This indicator will measure how quickly your inventory is being sold in the specific period of your time. Next is gross margin. This indicator will indicate the profitability of your products after deducting all the costs of the goods sold. Okay. And next is days sales outstanding. This indicator will measure the average number of the days it takes to collect the payments that were outstanding by the customers. And fourthly, fill rate. This indicator will measure the percentage of the customer's order that are fulfilled completely and that are fulfilled on time. So this indicator will measure all that things. Next is order accuracy. This indicator will track the accuracy of the order processing to minimize any errors, or to minimize the customer dissatisfaction with your product or with your service. Sixthly, we'll talk about return on assets. This indicator will evaluate how effectively you are utilizing your assets to generate the profit from them. Seventhly, operating expenses ratio. This indicator will help you to measure the ratio that will assess the efficiency of your operation expenses in relation to the revenue that we have generated. Okay, so this was all for the indicators that shows the growth track success for the wholesale and distribution industry. And here at Meru, we have a team of experts that do all the accounting and bookkeeping for the wholesale and the distribution industry. We have some expert that use the streamline process or streamline software to do all this processing. So that was all for today's video. Thank you guys and have a nice day.